Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraff.
And I'm Cathrine, co-host, bestie.
Cathrine has a little bit of a cold, friends.
Yeah.
So pray for her.
Please do.
Yeah. A lot of people are sick right now.
Yes. And this thing that I have just keeps coming back.
It does.
Sometimes it's every other day.
It's like the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. It just keeps coming in, horrifying you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bothersome.
So forgive Cathrine if she's a little sniffly or if she has to grab a tissue.
I sound like I have mashed potatoes in my mouth and my nose.
No, before we recorded, we both joked about how she sounded like Rudolph when he put the mud on his nose, and he was like, "She said I'm cute." Then he flew through the air. Yeah. Anyway, that's dating ourselves, remembering all that. Well, let's jump into our topic since we're talking about Christmas. This is episode 102, by the way, if you're keeping track of episodes. So we're well into the hundreds now.
Yeah.
Triple digits. And if you're just joining us, friends, welcome aboard to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast, where Cathrine and I were just two best friends who sit down at the table once a week and we talk about stuff.
Yeah.
We pick topics that we think you'll like. We hope.
Most
of the time we like them.
Yeah. People tell us they like them.
And if we don't like the topic, we just kick it down the road.
Yeah.
Like
we've
the
got one topic.
What's it about, Kat?
Procrastination. We just keep saying no.
We're not going to do it this week. That is so funny.
I know.
When we finally get to it, it's going to be a barn burner, friends. So stay tuned for that. We have sponsors. Who are our sponsors, Cathrine?
Well, we have Kenny and Ron, right?
And who is that?
Our husbands.
Right.
Kenny's my husband. Ron's yours. Their nickname together is Puffin. Just see our listen to our other episodes for that.
Yeah, so we have them. And who else do we have as our sponsors?
We also have we have Joan and we have Dar and we also have Courtney.
Yes,
right.
They have graduated from humor consumers to humor contributors.
Yeah.
And they are supporting us via
grateful.
Patreon. So we give them a shout out and a big heartfelt thank you. And if you would like to join them, you too can become a humor contributor simply by going to Patreon, our Patreon link, and it's going to be in the show notes. And in case if you're not, ready to go to the show notes, you can just go to patreon.com and put in Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. You'll see our pictures. And we only have one level of donation right now, and it's only $5 a month.
Yeah, that's all we could figure out for now.
We didn't want to do, they suggested 3 levels or whatever, but they actually said if you don't know what you're doing, start with 1. And we're like, that's us. We don't know. So, and what does your money go to if you donate $5 a month? There are costs involved in producing a podcast. And so there's equipment, there's also hosting, there's marketing and things like that. And down the road, if we get enough support, we would like to upgrade our equipment as well as maybe hire somebody to help us.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and have a little team. Yeah. Maybe a one-person team.
They would probably edit, or they would edit much better than me.
No, you do a great job. Well, we're sticking with you because you're,
Yeah, right.
You're all we have.
We have to.
That's all we have. All right, so let's move on. To today's topic, friends, is Christmas. And we're talking about our Christmas faves. So our favorite things to do at Christmas, favorite things we've done at Christmas. And I want to start with then versus now. So let's just share, Cathrine, from your perspective, and I'll share mine as well. What was Christmas like in the past, whether you want to go back to childhood or if you just want to go back to like family life when you were in charge and, that versus what is Christmas like for you now?
Well, when I was a child, things were much more simple, that weren't so complicated. And I'm not just saying that in terms of, well, when you're a kid, you don't have all the responsibilities, but it wasn't as, not everybody worked as far as, double income in the home. So some people did, but I think it was much more simple back when I was a child. And I think that there was more time to just, relax in the home and look at your Christmas lights, whatever the case.
Yeah,
So
definitely. So this was back in the 70s,
right?
So like late 60s for me, 70s for Cathrine.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, during that period of time, I think that people who were adults during that period of time, they might say they were in turmoil because the Vietnam War was going on and there was a lot of liberation type rallies and things happening. But what they didn't know is what was to come, which was a huge advancement in technology.
Mm-hmm.
And even lifestyle in terms of shopping patterns and things like that. When I was a young child, there was no mall. I remember when the mall was built.
Yeah, I remember that too, actually.
So there was a 5 and dime.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a specialty toy store in the town, a couple towns over, because I grew up in such a small town.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was like this little 5 and dime, and there was a small little gift shop in our town.
Mm-hmm.
So those were your options. And we received the JCPenney's Christmas catalog.
Yes,
did you get that?
Yeah, we did. And funny when you said the mall, I'm like, you know what? Before I can remember my parents shopping at the Matson Mall. So we're in like south suburbs of Chicago. But you know what mall they used to shop at? The Dixie Mall, which is where the Blues Brothers shot their film, and then it was destroyed after that. So
wow.
So they no longer
it's going back
there.
Like some decades.
Yeah.
So no question about it, things have shifted and changed. And perhaps things seemed simpler then. And of course, it's all dependent on what's going on in your own life, Yeah,
well, there wasn't so much coming at them. I mean, the store either had the toy or they didn't. You didn't drive all over the place to get. I remember by the time my brother came along, my mom went everywhere looking for, I don't know if it was Star Wars.
Do you remember Teddy Ruxpin?
That sounds familiar.
It was almost like a robotic teddy bear that said things. He talked. Whoops. Ooh. He talked and such. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I know you remember Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Oh, yeah. That came like 80s, I think.
Yeah, and things like that. Like that one Christmas show called Jingle All the Way. That's the one with Sinbad and with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. It's all about this coveted toy that is a hot item. It's the hot ticket item, and it's not readily available. And that was a thing for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Tickle Me Elmo.
I was just going to say that. Yes. Yeah. I had to get that for Patrick, and I did.
Yeah, and I kind of think that the hype around those types of things, I mean, really, we do have a pretty commercialized Christmas situation in terms of our culture. Mm-hmm. And so retailers can hang on to that kind of stuff and go, how could we create a Tickle Me Elmo? Or how could we make it so coveted that, every kid has to have it? Mm-hmm. I don't know how they figure that out, but I'm sure they're trying.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else about then versus now?
No, I could... Just on a side note, I remember how excited I used to get Christmas morning. Did you?
On Christmas morning, our thing was more Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just would be so full of anticipation. And then after opening, I used to love to sleep with my new stuff.
Yeah.
Like this, and the smell of plastic, like whether it was a doll or, I don't know, just something new, like that smell of the manufacturer's plastic.
And the dolls, my dolls used to be in a box, and then it would have like that clear cellophane over the top.
Oh, yeah.
It was almost like a little coffin.
Yes.
I remember getting a Dressy Bessie. That was one of my favorite toys as a child, as well as the Light Bright.
Oh, yeah, I got that too.
Turn off all the lights, and you would plug in the little things, and they'd get nice and hot. We also had an engraving tool, that was
cool.
Dangerous, but we got it anyway. Because nobody cared back then.
Oh, my God. I remember one year now, I'm not sure if I was a teenager or junior high, I got a stereo. The kind that was stacked in those cabinets.
Yeah.
And the big speakers.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Speakers were as big as like a dresser.
So excited.
They were huge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, things have changed, friends. So then versus now, I mean, now we do have so many things coming at us. We can get all of our Christmas shopping done on our phone.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, back then the phone was just the phone. It had one job, be a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's everything.
Yeah.
And you can even track your packages.
That is so true. It's funny because as you know, I used to work for the post office. Well, our friend Dee the other day, she sent me a text. She's like, "No wonder you quit the post office." And she sent me a screenshot of where her package went all over the place because she was tracking her package.
Yeah.
And it really did go all over.
Yeah, it's quite a thing.
It is. But see, that could even stress somebody out.
Absolutely.
Just keeping track of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have roughly 2 weeks before Christmas because we're recording this on the 13th of December.
Mm-hmm.
So we're roughly 2 weeks before Christmas. And I'm not ready at all. I went to church yesterday and somebody asked me, "Are you ready for Christmas?" I said, "Nope, not ready." But Christmas is going to come and it's going to go whether I'm ready or not.
Right. This is true.
And I survive every year.
Yeah.
So I know I will be ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of your favorite things. What are your favorite things to do now at Christmas?
I love to watch our favorite Christmas movies with the kids. I mean, Patrick can't always come, but Ellie still lives in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And so now she, like even tonight,
What are you going to watch?
Tonight, I'm not sure what we're watching tonight, but I just know we're watching one of them. But we've got to save some of the best ones for when Emily flies in. So she's coming in next week, and she wants us to wait for her for some of the ones that we really enjoyed together.
Yeah.
So, so we're going to watch one tonight. And that's one of my favorite things to do. And another one of my favorites is to look at all the beautiful lights. I can't believe we don't have your tree on as we're doing this Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
We've had it on every time since it's been up. But anyway, is looking at all the beautiful lights in the house. And that's one of my favorite things.
I do love Christmas lights. I think that they just exude joy, and fun. And because this is 2022, and we've had a couple of Christmas seasons that have gone a little bit weird. Let's just call it that.
Right.
From COVID, 2021 was odd.
Mm-hmm.
2020 and 2021. Mm-hmm. Both of those Christmases were kind of, dominated, if you will, by COVID-related problems.
Right.
So this is the first time in a couple of years that things aren't as bad.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So the lights just make it seem more festive. Christmas music is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
The movies, Ron and I yesterday, we drove to Fort Wayne, Indiana, where one of our children has now moved with his wife. He has a wife. My son is a husband. That is
crazy.
so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, my son and his wife moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we met them there to help them unpack. Mm-hmm. And they were moving from Texas. So that's a big over-the-country move, woohoo, big move. And we were exhausted at the end of the day. They were exhausted. We were exhausted just from being, alive. They were exhausted from doing work. Yeah. But we dropped them off at their house, and we went back to the hotel where we stayed last night, and we said, let's watch a Christmas movie. So we watched Home Alone. We actually watched both of them. The original Home Alone, and then right after that came on Home Alone 2.
Yeah, that's funny. We watched Home Alone 2, but we can't watch the first one until
you wait for Emily.
Yeah.
Those movies are so dumb in some respects, but they're just so cute and funny.
Yeah.
They really, the slapstick humor, like that style.
Yeah.
The Three Stooges kind of style, but it is hilarious.
It is. Those two knuckleheads are so funny. Like they just are. I do think that the second one, they're so brutal. I mean, what happens to them is way worse than in the first one.
Yeah. I was starting to doze by the time we got to the second one. I was like in and out. Mm-hmm. All right. So favorite movies. Anything else on the movie front? Any other favorite Christmas movies that you love?
My all-time favorite Christmas movie is Christmas Story.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It used to be, the next runner-up is It's a Wonderful Life.
Go back to Christmas Story.
Yes.
Okay. I love the little kid.
Yeah.
Who sits at the table and eats like a pig.
Oh, yeah.
I love
little Ralphie. Oh, wait.
No, his brother. Ralphie is the boy that wants the BB gun, and whatever his little brother's name is, and
Randy.
Yes, Randy. And the mom is like, eat like a little piggy.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, cracks me up. And the dad, he's so proud of his. It's an award.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of another favorite thing we used to do. We used to take the kids every year to see Christmas Carol downtown at the theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And one year we took them to see Christmas Story. They did the play.
Oh, fun.
And we just, I really miss that tradition. We don't really do that anymore, but we did that every year for years. I love that. That's my favorite.
I remember on my 21st birthday, as you know, I'm kind of a Christmas birthday, so I'm right around Christmas. Mm-hmm. And for my 21st birthday, my mom and my grandma took me out for dinner and a theatrical show. Okay, and we went to see the Sugar Plum Fairy. What's that one?
Oh, yeah.
It's the ballet.
Yes.
The Nutcracker.
The Nutcracker.
Yes. And it was from Chicago, and we lived out in the sticks of Illinois. And so this, like, they came to us, you know?
Wow.
But their Sugar Plum Fairy was like over 50, and she was really large. She was a plump fairy.
They gave you the leftovers.
They gave us a plump Sugar Plum Fairy. And she couldn't really get off the ground very well.
No way.
Yeah, my mom was cracking up. She was like, oh, figures, this is the Sugar Plum Fairy we would get. That's hilarious. Oh, yeah,
That's
I don't remember
funny.
anything else about it except for that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. These tickets must have been discounted or
Yeah,
something.
well, it was out in the cornfields of Illinois, so you can't get every Sugar Plum Fairy to come that far, Catherine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we talked about movies a little bit. We talked about the lights and the Christmas music. What else? What else do you do that you love to do around Christmas?
Well, I love it when the whole family goes to church.
Yeah, I do too. I take pictures just to prove it happened.
Prove to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I post them proudly on social media.
Yes.
Like, we have got it together at least one day.
Right.
Christmas Eve. Everyone's holding a candle singing Silent Night. Done.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that too.
I do,
When our town lights the tree. There's a lot of things I like as I'm saying this. I forgot another movie that I love to watch. It's Elf. It's so funny.
I love that movie.
Oh, my gosh. So funny.
I love that movie. And this year for the tree lighting, you and I went with your mom, and oh gosh, it was so cold.
I know.
It was freezing, and
Yeah.
I was the one who volunteered to go get the hot cocoa so Catherine could stay with her mom. And I wore my little blinky hat that lights up, and I said, if I go down, if you see blinking lights on the floor, on the ground, come and save me.
Yeah. Now I remembered another tradition we used to do.
What?
Now that we're talking about that. We used to go down, not every year, but quite a few years to the Kris Kringle downtown.
Oh,
Chicago,
yeah, that
in
was
the
fun.
Daily Plaza.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do that and watch the.
I went with you the one year.
You did.
It was cold.
Yeah.
Oh, it was cold, but it was fun.
Yeah, we would do that and see the tree lighting ceremony. That we only did a couple times, but the actual Kris Kringle thing we did quite a bit.
You know, my mom claimed that, now I say this because I don't recall it, but she claimed that she took my brother and sister and I to the Walnut Room to see Santa Claus.
Oh, you know.
As a tradition.
Really?
Yeah, in Marshall
Fields.
Fields.
You don't recall, though?
No, because I was probably crying my head off. I was a screamer. I was probably like, I'm hot, screaming. I hate Santa's scary.
That was one thing I had wanted to do with our kids.
Yeah, never
and
did
that
it.
was the one thing we never did do, but we did those other things. So
I used to take the kids. Now I had 5 children, all boys. So I lowered my expectations of myself so many times. And I used to take, when I only had a couple boys, take them to see Santa and get a picture and stuff. But with the whining and the pulling and the, you know, the picking and the farting and all the stuff that they would do, I'm like, no. They're like, no, we're not going to go see Santa. Guess what? Santa doesn't exist. There's no Santa. It's me. It's me. It's all me and Dad.
just in case.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. Okay, speaking of that, Catherine is telling me to shush just in case, you know, if there are little ears All right, fine. Let's just move on.
I know what
I'm
you were
not going
gonna
to talk
say.
about it. Okay, I wrote about this in my book.
Yeah.
It is in my book, friends.
Buy
so
the book.
there's a whole chapter in my book
Right.
about Christmas failures. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, let's.
And it is the truth, and it is funny. Yeah.
Right.
Done. All right. Anything else about that?
No. What'd you jot down there? For me?
For you, I had written down Hallmark movies that you enjoy that.
Mostly in the background. Sometimes I am like, oh my gosh, that can't get any hokier.
Ron
But
loves to
they're fun.
watch Hallmark movies and predict. So he's like a little Hallmark movie prophet.
Well, they're not really that hard.
I
to
know,
predict.
Catherine, but he is a sponsor, so let's not say that.
Yes. Oh. Yes.
No, he likes to he likes to do that with anything. Just predict
He does. Yes.
what's going to happen, and then when it happens, he goes, "See, I told you."
I think it's hilarious because Kenny will do that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I look over at him and I'm like, yeah, you think?
Okay, you also had on your list tree chopping, so you used to do that.
Yeah, we used to do that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we used to go and chop down our own tree as a family, bring it home.
I heard there's a shortage this year.
Really?
Of live Christmas trees. And now, how
In
could
this
there?
area?
I don't know if it's in this area, but it was on Facebook. I don't remember who it was that said it, so I don't know where they're from. But they said they were lucky to find a tree at blah, blah, blah tree farm because there's a shortage. And I'm thinking, well, how could there be a shortage?
Yeah, I don't. There's
Because
so much.
COVID didn't really affect that. If anything, maybe we have more trees available because of COVID.
Right.
I don't know. COVID messed up everything. I think they're just blaming it on COVID, to be honest.
I think so too.
We used to chop our tree as well. We used to go out on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving weekend, that Sunday, we went with a large group of friends and we would chop down a tree and it was all fun. And then we would all go back to one person's house to have chili together. It was great fun. Yeah, we did it for many years. It was all the way up until the one year when we almost went through the car wash with our tree on top of the minivan.
All the way up till then.
It was all the way up till then. And then we stopped doing that. Yeah, because of that. You know what I did? I did go out and buy an artificial tree after that.
Huh.
Yeah, I was done with the tree chopping experiences. I was like, this can't be anymore. Obviously.
See episode 48 for that.
Is that
for
what
that
it's? Oh, that's
story.
right. That's what it's in. And by the way, I'm going to do a plug for my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and put in my name, Tracy DeGraff, and look at my Christmas chopping. I have a clip in there of me telling this story in my stand-up routine.
Yeah.
About how we almost went through the car wash with a Christmas tree on top.
Do you know also on that episode of 48,
Yeah.
we were discussing the upcoming show that you were going to be taping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a year ago.
Yeah. And I was thinking, oh, wow.
So many things have happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's move on. The whole family goes to church. We talked about that. We talked about the lights. Oh, pizza on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Okay, one of the things that I'm an expert at is lowering my own standards because I want to meet them. I want to meet my goals. And, you know, when I was overwhelmed as a mother many times. And one Christmas Eve, I had a plan. It was elaborate. It was, you know, Martha Stewart-like dinner. But the baby cried all day. My husband had to go to work. The house was a mess. The family was on their way. It was my husband's family. It was my first time hosting. And the chicken was raw. It was like frozen.
Chicken?
Yeah, I was making like a chicken dish.
Oh.
You can't make chicken for Christmas Eve? Martha Stewart made it, Catherine. Jeez. It was fancy.
Okay.
But it wasn't done. You cannot eat raw chicken. You cannot.
No.
It will make you sick.
Oh, yeah.
And and they were on their way.
Yeah.
And I was a mess. I looked a mess and I sounded a mess and the house was a mess. And my husband came home from work and everybody was screaming. And he just calmed everything down. He really did. He calmed the baby down. He calmed me down. And we got out the big hefty bags.
Yep.
You know, the big black ones.
Yeah.
And we just shoved stuff in. Toys, diapers, you name it. The chicken, everything went in the bag.
The chicken.
And then we put it all in the basement. Yeah. So it was like the quickest cleanup. And then we ordered pizza. Pizza Hut was open.
Well,
It was great.
yeah. How great of Ron to do that, though, just to be like, it's okay.
Oh,
It's all right.
he's yeah, I do love him so much. He really did say that's not what Christmas is about. Mm-hmm. It's really about Jesus. Mm-hmm. So none of this matters. And he was so right. He's very wise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so and then we did pizza on Christmas Eve for many years because I thought, why go through all this mess and trouble when I'm so stressed out?
Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the things. Cathrine and I always try to have little takeaways from this podcast that anybody who's listening, if you're still listening after us babbling about our memories and such, if you can hear the sound of my voice, I'm going to tell you something. If your Christmas, it's coming. If your Christmas expectations are high and you can't meet them, lower your expectations until you can meet them and be realistic with who you are and the season that you're in. Because back then I wanted to be like this real, hostess with the mostest. And I wanted things to be a certain way. But I wasn't in that season.
Yeah. I used to stay up till like 1 a.m. cleaning the house the night before. And not just Christmas, but a birthday party, whatever the case might be. Crazy. I would never do that now.
Yeah. I don't know. I just give anybody listening permission to lower your expectation if you're not able to meet what you thought you could. Mm-hmm. You have permission to do that.
I say that and agree with you, but at the same time, I'm like painting right now, like our trim and baseboards and 2 doors in the house. But really, they've been installed for a long time, and I just keep putting it off. And now I want it done. So
I mean, you have to be the judge of your own capabilities to handle whatever kind of stress that you're under.
True.
But you do have to be willing to let go of the things that you just can't get done.
Yeah.
If you can't get it done, guess what? You can't get it done.
Yeah, you got to choose the lesser of 2 evils, really.
Yeah, you only have one life. And you only have, today is it. We're never going to have this day again.
Right.
Boy, we got to get that thing done about procrastination. We have got to do that episode.
Okay.
All
later.
Right.
We'll do it later.
Oh, gosh. We just keep saying that. All right. Well, we've talked about everything that we planned to talk about.
Oh, good. Well, we wanted this episode to be a little bit lighter, easier, something we didn't have to do a lot of research on. That's why we decided just to do this topic.
Well, we're taking our own advice because now Cathrine is under a lot with her mom and caring for her with Alzheimer's. And we just have not had a lot of time to record things.
Yeah.
And then my son in his moving schedule and my husband and I wanting to be there to help him unload. So we weren't able to record yesterday. And so we had to come up with something that was relatively easy for us to prepare for.
Right.
So we hope you enjoyed it. And we hope that you'll join us next time. We do have a closing scripture, and that is from the book of Matthew, chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. And it says this: After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him."
Hallelujah.
That is our encouragement to you, friends, is worship Jesus. That's the main thing of Christmas.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
Right.
Worship Jesus.
Right.
All right. Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraff.
I'm still Cathrine.
We'll see you next time.